Thank you for joining us for the Springfield Business and Economic Review. I'm your host, Sarah Wolin, with the Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce. Today we're going to be discussing Leadership Springfield, and our guests with us today are Pat Sanchez and Justin Reichert. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Sarah.
Great to have you. Now, you guys are both involved in Leadership Springfield as volunteers. So can you tell us a little bit about what Leadership Springfield is?
Leadership Springfield is a collaborative effort between the Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce and the Junior League of Springfield. It's a 9-month program that's designed to help develop skills and nurture potential for emerging leaders in the Springfield community.
Well, great. It sounds like it really helps our future business leaders
Absolutely.
be well positioned for it.
Absolutely.
That sounds great. Justin, what are some of the programs or outcomes that you hope to achieve for the class or participants in Leadership Springfield?
I think one of the main things that we try to provide for the participants is an experience with the entire community, discovering things in Springfield that they may not have been aware of.
Mm-hmm.
And so we develop, the 9 programs, 1 program each month, are designed to pull out a different aspect of the community so that every month the class participants are exposed to something new, whether it be the various religious activities or organizations in the community, to the not-for-profit organizations in the community, to government entities in the community. Mm-hmm. It's all designed to expose these participants to those various aspects of Springfield and give them more knowledge, mm-hmm. More connections, meeting people that they may be able to work with in the future, and people that may be coming to them at one point when they are a leader in the community.
That sounds great. And Pat, he mentioned 9 months. That sounds like quite a commitment. Can
you
talk a little bit about that commitment participants make?
It is a substantial commitment of time because we meet in October for 2 full days, mm-hmm. and then November through May we meet for a full day in what we call program days. But outside of that, then the participants are put into project teams and they work on a community service project, and all of that activity takes place outside of the scheduled program days. So it is a huge commitment of time.
It sounds like it. What are those project teams? What are they working on? What types of things?
What we do is we break the participants into teams of 4 members mm-hmm. each. We present them with a list of the local non-for-profit agencies, and we challenge them to find an agency that has a mission that speaks to them, to go to that agency and offer their services in whatever capacity that agency might have a need for. And so they work on a project. It provides the agency with some talent. Mm-hmm. Amazing things have come about as a result of our projects. And then at the end of May, they present to the agency the product of their endeavors.
Wow, that sounds great.
It's wonderful.
What are some of the projects that have been completed either in the past or are being completed right now?
Well, I do have a list of the agencies that are being worked with for this year. One group is working with Spark, and they're doing the coordination, development, and organization of a website for Spark.
That's a huge undertaking.
It is. Another group is working with Hope School, and they're developing a campaign to promote that school's vocational program. Mm-hmm. And they're also going to try and coordinate with the farmers market to have the Hope School residents come and participate in some fashion with the farmers market. The third group is working with School District 186. They're putting together a trial program of something called the Choices program. They're going to bring it in, trial it in one school, do an evaluation, and present a report to the district. The next group is working with Minnie O'Byrne Crisis Nursery, and they're going to help them manage their inventory and come up with a marketing plan for the annual Christmas holiday store.
Okay.
The next group is working with the City of Springfield, and they're working on a Go Green program, education and marketing effort to teach businesses the benefits of environmental recycling and awareness. Vinegar Hill Neighborhood Association is using a group, and they're doing some investigation about grant funds that might be available to that group, and possible information about their potential for creating a TIF district or enterprise zone for their organization. Another group is working with the Family Service Center, and they're developing a marketing plan to promote that center's adoption program, which the center feels isn't widely known about in the community. And then the last group is working with the Salvation Army, and they're working on a public awareness campaign for the Red Kettle Project.
That sounds like quite an extensive list of different programs.
It is.
And these are all ones that the participants in Leadership Springfield select in partnership with the agencies or organizations, and they carry those out throughout their 9 months in the program, correct?
Correct.
What a neat program. Justin, you mentioned the program aspects of the Leadership Springfield where they get together. You rattled off a couple of different ones. Can you tell me any more about any of those in particular?
One that I guess I can talk about, one that I was heavily involved in, it's the most dear to me, which was a state government program. And for the first time last year in the program, at the direction of our then board president, we gathered together various leaders, various agencies in state government, because obviously state government is a huge part of Springfield.
A huge role.
And at the point that was suggested to us, we thought, why had we never thought to do a state government program before? And so we went over to the Capitol building, put on a day-long program, had some very esteemed guests such as State Senator Larry Baumke, State Senator Deanna DiMuzio, actually got to sit down on the floor of the Senate and basically give the students an opportunity not only to hear from some of these well-known leaders, but to question them and to get an understanding and perhaps a feel for what it's like to be on the floor of the Senate and to deal with a press booth that's hiding somewhere and deal with various pieces of legislation that are coming about and all of the committees that the legislators have to deal with, because people don't understand that. And it's one of the most recognizable buildings in the city, but we don't know what's happening inside of it.
And a lot of us probably haven't even gone in recently. We drive by it every day maybe, but don't go inside.
Yeah, so it's really a great day, and we pulled in some lobbyists to discuss their role in government. Obviously, there are a ton of lobbyists in Springfield. We pulled in Bernie Schoenberg from the State Journal-Register. He gives sort of a political outlook because, of course, if you're going to talk about state government, you can't help but get into politics a little bit. And he always makes it a little fun to give his perspective and his take on politics.
Yes.
And then we ended up the day at the INB, their new conference center, and had further speakers come in to talk about the budget of the state, to talk about such other things as the public relations or the media relations efforts that each of the political parties have going on. So we had representatives from each of the parties to talk about their role. We had one of the governor's public relations person there to speak and to speak on his behalf and discuss the various roles that she has to play on behalf of the governor, not only, I guess, in promoting his views, but in damage control. Obviously, the press is not always
not always nice.
Right.
Well, it sounds like an engaging day, and I guess it also sounds like an opportunity where Leadership Springfield might be one of the only chances you have to sit down with a small group of your colleagues to meet with such esteemed leaders, really. So it sounds great. Pat, any programs that run true to you that you'd like to share with?
Well, I was involved this year in what we call the Community 101 Day, which was held in October. It's the first program day to sort of set the tone for the year, and it started with a history of the city of Springfield. Tony Leone came in and did a history of the city of Springfield through the experiences of the Passfield family, which is his expertise. We followed that with a panel that did sort of a demonstration of the way issues are brought to the Springfield City Council. So we had a couple of aldermen, and Jim Donlin was there, and they did a simulation exercise that was very well received. We had a group talk about county government, and then we took a little different turn in the afternoon. We had some representatives of service organizations, and then we had another group come in and talk about board service and philanthropy. So that was also a very full day.
Sounds so all-encompassing, just so much opportunity to learn from other individuals. And so, Pat, you mentioned starting it off in October.
Correct.
So if individuals are interested in learning more about the program, what's the time frame for signing up and what's the process for that?
We are very close, probably within 2 weeks. We will have an application form available through our website, which is www.leadershipspringfield.net.
Okay.
You can go directly to the website, or you can go to the Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce website, and there will be a link to the Leadership Springfield program. The application for participation for the coming year is available on that website, or will be within a couple of weeks. Anybody that's interested can just go there, complete the application, and send it in. We will make decisions for the class probably in the August time frame. We will have a opening retreat orientation evening in September, and then the program starts in earnest in October.
Oh, great. Now, Justin, what type of individuals do you think might be interested in this type of program, or might be interested in learning more or applying?
This really could be an opportunity that anyone in Springfield would want to take advantage of, because there are so many different aspects to it. But it seems that the most common persons who apply are involved in some way in a business that puts them out in the community, and so they're interested in meeting more folks in the community, networking. There are a number of times you find persons who are new to the community, but they're looking towards being some sort of a business leader or community leader, and they come to this program to learn more about what's happening here in the community, and again to network and to meet people, and to use those new resources to further their careers, to further themselves and their goals. So I think that it's really something that almost anyone can take advantage of, because you may look at this as important for your career. You may look at it as important for simply networking and understanding who people are in the community. This may just be an opportunity to meet another group of 31 other people to develop friendships. So, and this is a fun program.
Yeah.
So I think that's important to say. It is actually fun, and people develop great friendships. And so really I think it's something that anyone would want to take advantage of. And they should talk to their employer about paying for them.
That's a good point, because I think one thing you mentioned there was the fun of the program. This isn't, you're not sitting in a classroom. I mean, both of you talked about multiple locations you were going to and different guest speakers and activities, so it really is an engaging program where anyone who participates, once you're committed to it, you're committed, and you're committed all the way with it.
Absolutely.
Sounds like. And you mentioned getting your employer to sign off on this. Can you talk a little bit about what types of costs can be incurred by this program, and also if there's any scholarships available?
Pat?
The tuition for the program is $825, and typically that is something that the employer will pay on behalf of the employee. We do have scholarships, partial scholarships available. Generally for those who work for non-for-profits who may not have the funds to send their employees, or we've had a couple of individuals who are just self-employed, and so we try and help them out. This past year we offered 6 partial scholarships, which is an increase
substantial
in the scholarship level over previous years.
But that fee, what does that entail? That entails obviously all of the program expenses, and also meals or
Food, and food.
So if no other reason to join, you can come and enjoy some good food.
Sharon Thiessen is our contact with the Chamber. She is the leadership program coordinator with the Chamber. I think every class comes out of there just wowed by Sharon, not only for her stamina and her many, many efforts, but boy, does she keep you well fed. You come in the morning, you got a little coffee, little donuts. You got a mid-morning break. You go out someplace wonderful for lunch. You have a little afternoon break. So yes, and that all is included, and all your materials for the 9 months are included, and the opportunity just to have some FaceTime with some very, very prestigious members of the community.
It sounds like a great opportunity. Now, both of you guys are involved through your board involvement. Can you talk a little bit about how it's structured, about the board and their involvement with the program, and also if both of you have been through the program?
Yeah, I guess the board itself is made up, as most boards are, as a president, a vice president, you have a secretary, treasurer, various roles to fill. And I think everybody sort of understands what those roles entail. But other things that happen within the board, various of the board members will take on their own committees, chair a committee, create a small group of persons, which includes not only board members, but we also encourage alumni to come in and volunteer their time. So this is not just a board effort, it's also alumni effort. And various committees are the program committee, as Pat had gone through some of the various programs. We have to ensure that we as board members are putting together the best programs we can each month for the participants, gathering up all of the speakers and the presenters, and gathering the locations for all of these events. We have the alumni committee, which I sit on, chaired by Mark Roberts of Standard Mutual. And in that we're putting on various events to try to really take advantage of the fact that there are over 600 alumni in this community already.
Wow.
You know, more than 23 years. I think we're in the 23rd year of this program, and there are more than 600 people out there. And we want to create that networking opportunity for persons who have been through the program to get together, to see who each other are. Oftentimes you don't know until somebody mentions Leadership Springfield, and you'll be surprised of the people that will suddenly pipe up and say, I went through Leadership Springfield. And there are further committees. You know, there's an executive committee that meets every month. It really gives the very basic direction to the board. And then, of course, in the committees, a lot of the work is done, and we bring it back to the board for a vote. So we're really deciding the direction of the program and always trying to ensure that it's the best program possible for the participants.
Well, it sounds very volunteer-driven. I mean, you talk about all the committees and all the different projects they're doing. What a great way for folks, once they're in the program, they can graduate and then become involved through those avenues. Let's talk a little bit more about some of those alumni activities. You mentioned 600 alums, which is huge.
Yes.
You mentioned some committees they can get involved in. Is there anything else they can do to get engaged?
You know, I guess I would say the alumni can probably get involved in as many ways as they would want. It's all up to your imagination. They simply need to contact the Springfield Chamber of Commerce, speak with Sharon Thiessen, and she can coordinate their efforts with the board. Obviously, they can take part in various committees. They can be liaisons between the board and various of the project teams, which are made up of the participants.
Those would be those groups we were talking about earlier, who are in the class. So an alum could work hand in hand with them.
Yes.
Neat.
And beyond that, we're putting on various events for alumni, so we're always looking for help. It is very volunteer-driven, but we think that it's fun for everyone that gets involved. And we have a number of alumni that are currently involved that we even have a base of people that seem to come back every year to keep working on programs or events. And it seems that the alumni effort is growing rapidly.
Then they can stay connected. So your connection and those networking opportunities are not just when you're in the program, but as you move forward and have the opportunity to continue that. Right. What types of events have you done for alums? I know you mentioned that there's some events that you've done or are doing. Anything that you've had happen during this past year or looking forward?
Yeah.
In October or in September, we typically have this opening orientation for the new participants. And for the first time last October, we decided to combine that activity with an invitation to alumni. So our participants not only got to come meet each other and learn something about what the coming 9 months would hold for them, but they also had an opportunity to meet some of the alumni. And that was a very nice, successful effort on our part. Then in February, just a couple weeks ago, we had an alumni breakfast. Marilyn Kushak came and spoke about the Lincoln Bicentennial Commission. We all got together for breakfast, another wonderful, wonderful turnout, and we are very excited about that. And then Justin was talking about our March Madness.
Yeah, I guess
March Madness, that's
Something
important. Folks are into
yes.
that.
Yeah, and I think that we're very excited about it. It'll be the first time, there are a lot of firsts that this board is doing, but this is the first time that we will put together a March Madness social get-together, basically a happy hour. We'll be doing that on Friday, March 21st. It is right after the regular program day for the class participants, so they're able to come right out of the program, come over to the March Madness event and relax. All the alumni are invited. It will be at the Plaza, right off the corner of 4th and Adams, from 5 to 7 p.m. We're actually have gotten the bar to agree to close down and only be open for our alumni.
Leadership Springfield alum only.
That's right, that's right. We're exclusive.
Yeah, I was going to say, another reason to get involved in the programs.
And we will be providing drinks and food provided by Azteca Restaurant, which I don't know if
Sounds
it
good.
Mexican restaurant in the Montvale Plaza beside Schnucks, very good food. And so it's a great opportunity. It's going to be sponsored by 5 different sponsors: Stratton Reichert Law Offices, Horace Mann, Standard Mutual Insurance, John Stremsterfer, and I know I'm forgetting one, but I should. Oh, Kerber, Eck, and Brackle. So we have 5 sponsors that have agreed to pick up the costs for all of the drinks at least, and part of the food. And then the alumni committee has a little money in our budget to cover the rest of the costs. So we really just want this to be an event where alumni get together, get to know each other, have fun, and
get
build those
reacquainted.
relationships.
Yeah,
Exactly.
because
Build those
it's-
relationships.
Even if you've gone through the program and maintained relationships with folks that were in your cohort, there's folks maybe around in the different classes that you could build bridges with and learn more about. I know you have a lot of alums that are very distinguished who have gone through the program and been very successful, and each year you recognize one of them at your graduation. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I will.
Your choice.
We're divvying these up. I'll take this one. At every graduation ceremony, which occurs in May, we try to identify a Leadership Springfield alum who is distinguished, who has proven themselves in the community to be a leader, and ask them to come speak. Another thing that we do, and that we try to pull our speakers from the Leadership Springfield alum. But another thing we do at the graduation to really try to, I guess, recognize great efforts by various Leadership Springfield alumni is we award a Distinguished Alumni. We have the Distinguished Alumni Award. And this is going to be the third year that we've done it. Again, there are a lot of things that we've started, but the alumni efforts are rolling here. So the first year, the Distinguished Alumni Award was won by Dan Cadigan of Kerber, Eck, and Brackle. Last year, the award was won by Julie Cellini. And again, you look at these folks, and they are prominent people in the community who have done a lot. In Julie Cellini's case, she was instrumental in bringing the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum to town. And these are graduates of Leadership Springfield, and I think we're very proud of that.
Should be.
We're actually going to be looking for nominations for alumni for this year, so that we can recognize someone at the graduation. And I guess if anyone has a Leadership Springfield alumni that they are interested in nominating, we only require that they be a graduate of the Leadership Springfield program.
Makes sense.
Yeah. That they've made some significant contribution to Springfield business or the community, that they embody the leadership traits of vision, inspiration, imagination, and persistence, and that they demonstrate skills through communication, problem solving, and consensus building. And I think that you can look at those in sort of general terms and see many people through the community that do that every day, and sometimes we don't recognize that people are doing it, but this is an opportunity to recognize those persons.
It really is, and as you mentioned, such wonderful individuals have gone through this program. I'm sure it's hard to choose each year who receives that award, but anyone can nominate someone, correct?
Yes.
As long as the nominee is a Leadership Springfield alum.
And the nomination form is on our website.
Okay.
And so anyone who's interested. And if you know of someone who you think would be a wonderful candidate for the award, but you're just not quite sure if they're a Leadership Springfield alumni, the list of all our alumni are there. So if you've got somebody in mind, you can go check them out, see if they're on the list. And if so, then that nomination form is there as well.
And that list of past graduates must also be helpful for someone who's considering going through the program to see who's gone through this before, what type of individuals, and once they see the caliber of individuals who have gone through the program, I mean, it's just astounding to me. I think it's amazing.
Yes.
You guys both included, of course.
Of
I
course.
assume, right? You graduated from the
Yeah.
program back, correct?
2004, as did Justin.
Oh.
We're in the same program.
Well, see, and the connections have gone on, and
Yeah.
you're still connected today. Have you seen that with anything else, anyone else who you've met up through the Leadership Springfield about utilizing them for other projects or paths crossing on other things?
Well, one of our Leadership Springfield alumni from our class also, Pat McGuigan, was just recognized in a little piece in the Journal Register this week. So it's those kind of things where you see it now and you have that connection with that person that's really special.
That is
Yeah.
nice.
I would add that every year now, since we started the state program that I help host 2 years ago, Amy Hagan of U.S. Bank and I team up and do that. And after she retired off of the board, she came back this year again to continue helping me with the program. And I think we sort of have a running date to keep doing it. So there are a number of people that once they get involved with a particular aspect, they really enjoy it and just keep coming back.
It is continuous involvement through both leadership involvement and training. I mean, when we have business leaders in our community, they're just thinking, I need that extra spark. I need something to keep me going or a little extra training. This is a great opportunity to do that. It's local, so you don't have to travel out of town or drive far for these leadership trainings. They're right here in our backyard. So I think that's great. Anything else you'd like to add about the program or share with folks today?
I would like to recognize some of our major program sponsors. We rely very heavily on the support of the local business community to send us participants, to financially support us, and also to offer in-kind gifts. So our major program sponsors for this year are Sickage, Stratton and Reichert, Carrollton Bank, Kerber Eckenbrecko, McGladrey and Pullen, SIU School of Medicine, Horace Mann, Lincoln Land Community College, and the State Journal Register.
Well, that's just great. I think the fact that businesses are supporting this program shows the great value of the program. And one more time, the website, in case anyone's interested in learning more.
www.leadershipspringfield.net.
And again, a great leadership program, and thanks to both of you guys for your leadership efforts, both from going through the program and carrying it through so that other class participants can enjoy the program and learn about it. It really is great. Well, thank you very much for joining us today for the Springfield Business and Economic Review, and for our guests with Leadership Springfield for sharing with us information about this leadership program that individuals can participate in right here in our community. Again, I'm your host, Sarah Wolin, and I hope you have a great day.